This is Dr. Sheila Tikku speaking for class 3rd year magnetic susceptibility, and the name of the chapter is magnetic properties of transition metal complexes. Theory of magnetism was developed along before the advent of quantum mechanics. In the presentation section, we are going to deal with some of the experience of experimental quantities which may be encountered when a substance is placed within a magnetic field H. The field invites the substance initially to react with it. These two quantities B and H are related as follows: B is equal to H plus 4 pi I, where 4 pi I is the field induced within the complex. The factor appears because of the definition, and we can have that I is the intensity of the magnetic atom and is equal to the induced magnetic moment per unit volume. So dividing both the sides of the equation with H, we have BH is equal to 1 plus 4 pi IH, which is equal to 1 plus 4 pi K, where K is the volume susceptibility and susceptibility per unit volume. Specific susceptibility is given by kappa is equal to K upon rho. Rho is the density of the substance. Alternative forms of kappa which are encountered are kappa A and kappa M, the atomic and the molecular susceptibilities respectively. These are obtained by multiplying kappa by atomic and molecular weight separately. If a correction is made, it is indicated by the time. The correction is indicated by the time, which is I is equal to xm is equal to kappa upon rho, that is equivalent to 1 upon hv. This is noted as total magnetic moment per mole divided by h. Reverse magnetic moment can be interpreted by such type of compounds. The magnetic moment is equal to m n upon h, where m is the average magnetic moment and n is the Avogadro's number and h is the magnetic field or intensity of the magnetic field. Langevin showed the situation, the average magnetic moment and the actual magnetic moment per molecule. The average magnetic moment is equivalent to mu square K upon Kt into H. The derivation is based on the assumption that the magnetic moment is equivalent to intensity of the magnetic field. Combining the both equations, we get n square mu square upon 3 RT is equal to C upon T, in which C is the Curie constant, T is the temperature, N is the Avogadro's number, mu is the magnetic moment, R is the radius, and T is the time again. Now we calculate mu, that is under root 3 RT into xm divided by n. Thus the magnetic moment in Bohr magneton becomes mu is equal to mu effective along multiplied with beta. Combining the two equations, we get mu effective is equal to under root 3 RT into m upon n beta. Correlation between mu effective and mu spin. In transition metal ions, the unpaired electrons generally present the outer orbital. The orbital motion of such unpaired electrons is distributed by the electrons of surrounding ligands and thereby quenching the mu orbital. So we have mu effective is equal to mu s is equal to under root 4s s plus 1 multiplied by beta, where s is the total spin quantum moment. This gives the magnetic moment in SI unit of Jt inverse. This equation is related with the number of unpaired electrons by the lower equation, which is stating that mu s is equal to under root n into n plus 2 multiplied by mu b. The object of the experiment is to determine the volume susceptibility by weighing the sample in and out of a magnetic field and calculate in turn molecular susceptibility, the magnetic moment, the total number of electrons responsible for the paramagnetism, measurement of magnetic susceptibility. Let us take into consideration the measurement of magnetic susceptibility. Xm can be measured experimentally by two common methods. The first is the Faraday and the Gauss method. In the Faraday and the Gauss method, we have a simple interpretation in which there is the involvement of F, which is the force, and that is equivalent to delta mg. Delta m is the weight, volume kappa 1 is the volume susceptibility of the sample and kappa 2 is the volume susceptibility of air. Then F is equal to half kappa 1 minus kappa 2. Then we have finally kappa 1 is equal to kappa 2 plus 2 delta mg divided by A mu O h square. In such things we have volume susceptibility and the mass to be calculated so that we can get the different types of solutions. In these different type of solutions, we have the example of cobalt, cyanide, as well as the iron cyanide. Figure 3.3 gives the diagram of Gauss magnetic balance. This type of Gauss magnetic balance was made from the old time balances which had two pans. One pan was removed and there was a tube containing specimen in the removed pan, and this tube was placed in between the two magnets. Firstly, the weight of the sample tube was taken when it was empty, and then the weight of the sample tube was taken when it had the sample. The difference in between the two types of tubes was taken into consideration. This was the consideration which made the real time if the weight of the tube increased, then it was a paramagnetic substance, and if the weight of the tube decreased, then it was a diamagnetic substance. So, in diamagnetism, we have also to add the diamagnetic corrections, which decrease the weight of the sample, because it is in paramagnetic substances, it is going inside the magnetic field, and the magnetic field is affected by this.